that, I don't have any more announcements, but I do have the pleasure of introducing a few people. So tonight we have some special guests with us. Oscar Aguirre and Lindy Manuel, if you guys could stand up real quick. So we have some special guests. Oscar and Lindy are both alums from this ministry. If you guys want, you can sit down. Thank you. We have lots of other people here too. Brian Thompson, his parents, the Moores are here. We have all sorts of folks here. So if you want to meet some folks who have been involved with this ministry for years, go and introduce yourself to them as well. But tonight, Oscar and Lindy are going to share a little bit about a ministry called Pan de Vida. Is anybody Spanish good enough to know what that means?
Bread of life.
Okay, yeah. Hey, there's a little bit of Spanish. That's awesome. I got to go to Ecuador this past June. Me and Alicia and Sarah all got to go. We went with Lindy, and I got to tell one of the bus drivers that Sarah and I were pregnant. And I told him, queremos 11 niños. So, I want 11 children. And he had the same kind of reaction. So I got to say, no, I don't really want 11 children. But no, the amazing thing about Ecuador, and really, there's a lot of amazing things about Ecuador, and specifically Quito, where we got to go. The weather being one of them. It was stunning the entire time. We went in June, and it's on the equator, and you expect, I'm going to be sweating so bad the entire time. And it was 70 the entire trip. It was gorgeous. But for me, really, the amazing thing was getting to see Pan de Vida and what they do there. I don't know if you guys have thought a whole lot about missions work and what it means to do missions work and the different types of missions. But sometimes folks who go all over the place wanting to do good sometimes end up doing more harm than they do good. Sometimes they inadvertently end up perpetuating poverty, or sometimes they come in and they wreck an economy by flooding it with all sorts of gifts, and that makes it harder on the local economy that had been producing something like shoes, and suddenly you come in and bring huge donations of shoes, things like that. One of the things that I appreciate about Pan de Vida is that they are a long-term ministry that is sustainable and that is seeking to lift people up out of poverty, not just by flooding them with gifts or with money, but by actually working with the people and mentoring them, giving them business loans and holding them accountable to the goals that they set, and then providing mentors for them as well. And I know I'm probably stepping on Oscar's toes a little bit there, but that is just one of the things that I was the most excited about, because you could tell that what they were doing was actually having a longer-term impact than just, here's a meal, okay, see you next month when you come back, and see you next month when you come back, and then the next month. And then Oscar could probably share stories of seeing children of people that they had helped years ago, and now they were helping their children as well. And so anyway, I hope that he gets to share some of that growth in their own ministry and organization. But for just a little bit of background, like I said, Oscar was an alum here, and coming from Quito, he said that this place was horribly ugly. I don't know if any of you have had that experience, but Macomb apparently isn't as pretty as Quito. But then he said that the leaves in Macomb, the changing of the seasons, actually helped him appreciate some of its beauty. Because in Quito, the leaves don't change color in the fall, because there is no fall. So anyway, Pan de Vida has been around for 20 years now, and he's going to get to share some of that. That's what their banquet is about. And we also have a couple of videos here that we're going to show, and I'm in one of them. It's kind of awful. It's kind of good. It's kind of awful. Alicia's in another one of them, and when Josh brings it back to 0, I'm going to stop talking, and you can watch the video.
You ready?
Hi, my name is Aguirre, and I'm the director at Campus Students for Christ. We're here in beautiful Quito, Ecuador, with our friends at Pan de Vida. One of the things that's really exciting me is that Pan de Vida is a mercy ministry that was actually started by a CSC alum. 20 years ago, Oscar Aguirre started this ministry in Quito, Ecuador. At CSC, at Campus Students for Christ, one of the things that we believe, one of the things that we're committed to is that our faith is not just something that is individualistic. It's not just about us. We are called to be the church, and we're called to be transforming the world around us by sharing God's love. And so one of the things that I'm excited about at Pan de Vida is that Pan de Vida actually helps to bring the gospel to their communities and transform their communities by providing a hand up rather than just a hand out. It's more than just charity. It is actually transforming community. And so, since this is one of the things that we're committed to at CSC, we're excited that Pan de Vida does this as well. So whether we go on a mission trip to Juarez, Mexico, or to Clay County, Kentucky, or whether we help out at Shiloh Christian Children's Ranch or Love Packages, wherever we help out, one of our goals is to bring the gospel through service, through mission. And so I would invite you and I would encourage you, one of my hopes is that you would join us in partnering with Pan de Vida. Whether that is financially, you can give financially, or whether you join us. We hope to go on many trips in the future. So whether you are a current student, or whether you are an alum, or whether you are a member at one of our supporting churches, I really want you to go to our website or to call us or to email us to find out more about how you can partner. And our website is wiucsc.org. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.
Okay, so one final thing I want to point out here. I mentioned if you're an alum, if you're a current student, if you're a member of the supporting church, someday you guys are going to move on from here, and your relationship to this place will change. But I encourage you now to start thinking about what is your relationship to this place going to be, and what is your relationship to missions going to be in the future. One of the exciting things is that we have alumni here tonight, and so I'm gonna turn it over to Lindy Manuel, and I encourage you to talk to Lindy afterwards, because she's an example of what you may become someday. She's been not in these literal chairs, because we didn't own these literal chairs when she was here, but she's been in the place that you are now. So give Lindy a warm reception.
Hello. I'm going to stand up here so I don't walk around too much. So I'm Lindy. I was here from 2000 to 2004. I met my husband here, who went to school with Oscar, because, as Oscar said, I am much younger than he is, and I was supposed to point that out. I just met Oscar through my husband, and it was, we have known about Pan de Vida since the beginning. And in 2014, I believe, we took a trip down to Quito and to see Pan de Vida for the first time, and it was life-changing because of the power of saying yes to what God is calling you to do. If you are willing to just say yes, amazing things can happen. And since then, we have been working with them and partnering with them. My main role with Pan de Vida is to coordinate teams and interns to go down there. So if you are interested in going down as an intern or as a group, we can talk and get you all situated and travel down there. It's really easy to travel. Like Avery said, the weather is beautiful all year round. It is 70s and 50s every day of the year. So there's a rainy season and a non-rainy season, and that's the only change. So it's wonderful. It's on the Eastern time zone, except for next week, then it will it won't change. We change. And we will be on the same time zone. So it's a very easy country to travel to. It's beautiful. There's lots of fun experiences. Avery and Alicia and I went down in June, and Sarah, and had lots of fun with zip lining and eating some kui, which is the... You didn't eat that? We failed. Huh?
We were gonna try.
Oh, well, we'll have to go back. Next time, we'll get some kui, which is their delicacy. I don't think I'll tell you what it is. Oh, okay, it'll be a video?
Yeah, Oscar's the video.
Okay, very good. Well, I won't ruin that surprise. But I think, if you have any questions, please come by me afterwards. And I actually live in Lincoln, Illinois. I work at Lincoln Christian University. So if you do have any questions or want to be like, hey, we want to go, it's an easy drive over here to talk with you and set something up. So I think that's all.
Could you show the Alicia's video, please?
Hola, mi nombre es Alicia. Hello, my name is Alicia. I am the Women's Minister at Campus Students for Christ. I am here in Quito, Ecuador right now with Vida, partnering with them in ministry. Here at Vida, this is my very first time being here. We've been able to do home visits, and we're working with a program right now for the new applicants to have assistance from Vida. Something that I would really love is to encourage all of you to join us on mission trips, whether that is in Redbird, Kentucky, that I take people with every single year, or Fame in Indianapolis, Indiana, or Casas por Cristo in Juarez, Mexico, or Ponte Vida here in Quito, Ecuador. We really encourage all of you to have this experience of missions and being able to bring the gospel around the world, wherever we go. And we get to be with beautiful people. Every single place that I have been, the people have been so loving and so encouraging and just full of Jesus and wanting to evangelize and share that gospel wherever they are. So I really encourage you to be able to join us.
Okay, and now, honestly, without further ado, please welcome Oscar Aguirre.
Thank you, Avery. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Good. No, I was promised that tonight we were going to have the most motivated, energetic students from WU coming to CSE. Is that correct? I have one. Is that correct? How you doing? It is my pleasure. My name is Oscar. It's my pleasure to be here. After all this year, I do want to say something. I never said that Macomb was ugly. Okay, all right. I want to say that, but there is a shocking. Who is not from Macomb here? Who is from a different country? Okay, no more Macomb. Okay, very good. Not from a different country. From a different country. Okay, wow. Where are you from?
Nigeria.
Is this in Africa?
Yes.
Very good. Where are you from?
Filipinas.
Filipinas. Very good. Are you?
Congo.
Congo. Wow, I want to go to Congo. And who else from here? Ghana. Wow, what a blessing. I remember one time when I was here, the only one. I was from Ecuador. It's so encouraging to see people from all over the world in this place called Campus Students for Christ. I was the international ministry. I was. Here my friend, Brian. Will you give him a hand, please? Brian, will you stand up? This man, my brother, used to wait for me in apartment number 6 when I would come from the library. And he would spend a few minutes talking to me, trying to understand my thick accent. He would take me to the grocery store. he would take me to his home, sitting back there. You see those two over there? Joe and Susan, those are my American parents. And Larry and Sarah Lee, they are my American uncles. By default. I remember my first Thanksgiving, when I didn't know anything around American culture. And they embraced me. They adopted me as their political son. I still call them mom and dad. When O'Brien went down to Ecuador the first year, my parents adopted him as their American son. And our parents still exchange gifts when we come here. It is a beautiful thing. When I came here and I asked God, oh God, where are the mountains? Show me the beauty of this place. The beauty of this place. The beauty of this place. Is there cornfields? Yes. The beauty of this place is the people. I will happily retire here. I want to send my children here to work in a farm, to know what real work is. I had the privilege to live for a few months with Susan's brother. And I was shoveling manure. And let me tell you, that shapes your soul too. There are times in life that you need to shovel manure. Every year you talk about life after CSE. Don't ever get disconnected from this ministry. There is power in what God does in this place. God has chosen this beautiful ministry and you to be here for a reason. Charlie Ferguson is going to be speaking in our event this Saturday. We were talking when my way down from Geneva, from Chicago, down here to Quincy actually. We talked for over an hour trying to remember the things and how it happened 20 years ago. I cannot believe it's been 20 years ago. I don't feel 20 years older. I feel like the same young man that used to hang out with my friends in the green room and in the red room and the dinners on Sunday because we had no money. So we were thankful for these churches that came and they cooked and they were tacos and we were like the most delicious tacos ever. Don't dismiss the small beginnings. I want to tell you a little bit about the story of our ministry. I'm a business major. I studied a master's degree in economics here. And I did at the same time another major. I did an MBA at the same time. I'm a Fulbright scholar. I know if somebody is from Fulbright scholarship here. I got a Fulbright scholarship. I tried to start a business exporting flowers. And God changed that. Didn't make it. I went down to Ecuador, became a business consultant, went to church, and I said, okay, God, you didn't want that, and I'm going to just serve you. And I went to church. I went to an English-Spanish church because I wanted to kind of soften the re-entry cultural shock. When you go back to your country, from Congo, from Filipinas, you're going to have experienced something that is called re-entry cultural shock. In my case, it was a little tougher because my country went through a huge financial crisis back then. And a lot of people were in front of our church begging. And I went to English-speaking church, and the Lord touched my heart through a little boy called Juan, shoe-shining kid. And when I was studying, we were studying Matthew, the Beatitudes. Blessed are those. There are different Beatitudes. And to me, it was very clear what God said, you need to be into action. And I went out, I met this boy, can I clean your shoes? And I said, yes. I'm going to be my good deed, I'm going to pay him double. In Quito, it's very, very common to see this kids doing this for 25 cents, and I was going to pay him 50 cents. And as I was doing that, God spoke to my heart and said, Oscar, I have given you everything. I sent you to the States, you speak both languages, you have a nice job, yet do you realize that at your feet you have an 8-year-old boy that came from a city 2 hours away from Quito to work that Sunday to make enough money to bring back to his house. And even though it's normal, it happens in Quito, it's not normal in the eyes of God. And God spoke to me and said, you need to do something. I asked him, are you hungry? He said, yes. Of course he's hungry. So we walked to a bakery. He didn't want to walk into the bakery. He said, why? He showed me his hand because I'm dirty. He's not going to let me the attendant. I look at the attendant, I look at him very mean, but let him in, he's my friend. He walked in. I said, grab whatever you want. He grabbed a piece of bread, and a yogurt. And we sat, and I didn't want to do the religious thing about, preaching him about Jesus Christ. God brought me to be his friend. Like many of the conversations we had here. And he asked the questions, what is the book? And I said, this is my Bible. Do you have a Bible? No? Do you go in a Bible? Yes, okay. What is the building that you came from? He's like, that's my church. Do you go to church? No. Do you want to go to church? Yes. What do you do with that question? With that answer? Take him to church. So we went to church immediately. We sat there. Everybody knows that he is there. Why? Because he stinks. He's dirty. Everybody was friendly though. So I said, okay, you know what, Juan, the next Sunday I'm going to bring you another Bible, children's Bible. Do you want to go for breakfast? He said, yes. Okay. Now I have a mission. Next week comes, I had the children's Bible that my man bought for me, and I walk out, he's waiting for me over there. There are a bunch of people there waiting outside the church begging. Remember, there is a crisis in Ecuador. And I see Juan, I say, okay, let's go Juan for breakfast. And we are walking. And out of the crowd that was outside my church, 3 other children detached from the crowd and starts following us. I turn around, I see the 3 kids, I saw Juan, check my pocket, just make sure that I had enough money. Look at them, all right, let's go. Now I have 4 kids in the same thing in the bakery. I say, whatever, bread, yogurt, I'm gonna treat you something from the Bible. I open the Bible. And one of the new kids had been a Christian. He took off his hat and he said, hold on, we gotta pray before we eat. How many times have you been so hungry that you forget about praying? Or you are with your friends like, make it quick. This guy, so hungry. And he stops. And he says, we're going to pray before we eat. And we start saying, okay, you pray. And he says, God bless this man. He is praying for me. He's asking God to bless me. And that's what God touched my heart. And that's when I made my commitment. God spoke to me and very clearly said, Oscar, you are the one who should be praying for these kids. You are the one who should be doing something for these people. And I said, okay, God, I'll do it. I will dedicate part of my time and part of my money to help these people. And that has been my commitment for 20 years. I went to my pastor and I talked to him. And I said, this is what I want to do. If somebody wants to follow me, great. If not, this is my commitment. I will dedicate part of my time and part of my money. So 3 weeks later, my pastor in the middle of the service says, Oscar, are you ready? And I said, ready for what? He says, to make your announcement. I said, what announcement? I came up front, I told my story, and I said, whoever wants to help me, just meet me at the end. And 10 people came. And among them, a missionary that had been praying 6 months for an opportunity to do this. And we started in February the 4th, 2001, in a driveway with 16 people, and we cooked rice, scrambled eggs, a banana, and a cup of milk. And that was it. And we did some songs and a message. That was the first year 20 years ago. Last year alone, through the pandemic, God blessed us and opens the gates of heaven, and we were one of the first ministries to respond to the pandemic crisis in Ecuador. If you know anything about Ecuador, what happened during the pandemic around the world, Ecuador hit the news, the world news, because in Guayaquil our system collapsed. And there were dead bodies on the streets and in the houses of people. It was terrible. But the Lord used our ministry to reach out to over 40,000 people in Ecuador. 40,000 people. A mustard seed. Mustard seed. Now we have a full-blown program. Will you go to the next slide, please? And our program is very simple. We started giving out food, but now we work in 3 levels. We work in the level of relief. Relief from hunger, relief during crisis, like the earthquake in 2016, like the massive migration from Venezuela. Did you know that 5 million Venezuelans had left Venezuela? 1.5 million people, Venezuelans, have went through Ecuador, and 500,000 live in Ecuador. In a country of 17 million people, that's a bunch of people. You meet Venezuelans, you saw them. They are in the corners of Ecuador, of Quito, with signs, with children in their shoulders, saying, I am hungry, please help me feed my children. So we help at the level of relief. That's our mercy program. Second, but you cannot leave somebody at the mercy level, at the relief level. Why? Because you cripple them. You need to help them out. You need to give them a hand up. So that's why we have the second level, which is the rehabilitation. Relief, rehabilitation, which is education, which is health, which is construction, which is helping improving their living conditions. And I don't know if you've been to construction, but we did care visits, right? And then the third level, which is the level that pulls you out of poverty, is give you the opportunity so you can start your micro business. And if you believe, and you let God heal your life, heal your soul, heal your mind, you will get out of poverty. Because poverty, I believe, is not in the circumstances. Ecuador is not a poor country in resources. Ecuador is a beautiful country. With mountains, with oceans, with jungle, with the Galapagos Islands, with fish, with crops, with everything. We just need to learn. We just need to right attitude. Poverty is not in the resources or the outside circumstances. Poverty is in your mind and in your heart. And I believe that Jesus frees you from poverty. When you know Jesus, you know that you can reach whatever you want. I do believe that God has something in this area. Many friends says, where are you going? Where? In Ecuador, no other missionary friends, where are you going? Macomb, Illinois. Where is that? Close to what city? But it's amazing that one of the best partnerships, we have partnerships with Lincoln Christian University, with Western Illinois University, with Campus Students for Christ, with The Crossing, with New Testament Christian Church. We have a lot of people have gone from here. And we have an alumni, a person that is living in Ecuador, married to an Ecuadorian, Rebecca Burns. When was that? In 2014, 2015? Then we came here, we talked like this. At the end, somebody came to Lindy. She's in Ecuador. She's in Ecuador. Because for God, I think He loves us from the beginnings. I'm going to show you a little video of one of our examples, and this is how God works. You know, in Matthew 13, you have your Bibles here? Can anybody read Matthew 13, verse 31 to 33, please? These are the 3 parables that Jesus is speaking, and these are called the kingdom parables, where God is kind of making an analogy between different earthly things to speak about spiritual truths. Please, sir.
Matthew 13, 31 to 33,
Yes.
He presented another parable to them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. And this is smaller than all other seeds, but when it is fully grown, it is larger than the garden plant and becomes a tree. The birds of the air come and nest in its branches. He spoke another parable to them.
That's it. That's enough.
All right.
That's the problem. Now go to the beginning of the chapter and just read the first verse where Jesus said that he came out of his house. Verse 1, I think it is. I think.
I'm looking for which one it is.
There are 3 parables there.
You said 13 one, right?
I think it's 13 I think it's at the beginning of the parables. Or if somebody knows that chapter, it said that he came out of the house and he sat by the lake, Jesus. And then the multitudes cried, the crowds came and just sat by him. And he started to talk to them. Jesus did that. Jesus just came out, sat, and talked. I came out of the church. I saw this little boy, sat, and talked. It's beautiful to see this little seed becoming a big bush that gives shadow for everybody, for a lot of people. We share this with our entrepreneurs, we call them. Let's watch the video of this gentleman called Jesus Guerrero.
Venezolano. Jamás pensé salir de Venezuela de la forma en que salí. Sin embargo, bueno, empezamos de cero en este país que nos ha abierto las puertas, pero no ha sido fácil. Yo soy licenciado en Educación Integral. Aparte de ello, tengo todo un posgrado. Yo soy especialista en Gerencia Pública y especialista en Educación para la Recreación Comunitaria. Yo aquí he sido albañil, yo aquí he sido vendedor ambulante, yo aquí he hecho lo que sea para llevar el sustento a mi familia. Como decía, Pan de Vida ha sido para nosotros una bendición, realmente. Y no solamente Pan de Vida nos ha ayudado con la parte alimenticia. Gracias a Pan de Vida yo tengo un emprendimiento bien importante. Cuando Pan de Vida comenzó a darnos los alimentos, nosotros no teníamos empleo, no teníamos ingresos propios. Y gracias a un emprendimiento que Pan de Vida nos dio, comenzamos a vender pollos. Yo tenía un proyecto económicamente más amplio. Sin embargo, recuerdo que el hermano Oscar esa vez nos dio una semilla de mostaza y nos habló bíblicamente de lo que significaba la semilla de mostaza. Y yo lo tomé con mucha responsabilidad, lo tomé muy serio. Y yo dije, bueno, por algo estamos aquí en Pan de Vida, por algo Dios me ha permitido llegar aquí, y si Dios quiere que comencemos con un granito de mostaza, comenzamos. Eso nos permitió ya tener un poco de ingresos, ya nos garantizaba por lo mínimo pagar los servicios públicos, los servicios básicos. Ya podíamos comenzar a generar algunos recursos. Gracias al aporte que nos dio Pan de Vida, me permitió iniciar otro emprendimiento, que es de los churros. Pude negociar un cochecito con una máquina y hoy en día ha sido espectacular. Tiene una gran aceptación y una gran clientela. Hemos cumplido a cabalidad lo que Pan de Vida ha querido con nosotros. Cada día creemos más en Dios, cada día creemos más en la solidaridad, y ahí estamos, trabajando fuertemente. Mi familia, mi esposa y yo, trabajamos diariamente gracias al aporte, gracias al apoyo que Pan de Vida nos ha dado a nosotros como familia.
So my question is, how do you like that? You like the video? This is my challenge to you. I think this is, maybe this is time for decision for you guys. This is my challenge. And I know that we have here people from other countries. My question to you is, what is the mustard seed that the Lord has given to you? One of the things that I really like about these people that we're helping is that the ones that are, like this year we were able to initiate 220 projects, 220 families. We gave them a mustard seed, $100. This guy was given $100. I remember the day he came and talked to me and he said, $100? What can I do with that $100? I need $2,500. That's what I need for my chicken business. And I said, Jesus, if you do that, if I give you $2,500, that means I don't know the bank first. That means that all your risk will be on me. And you need to assume the responsibility. And I said, if you work, if you do things right, the Lord will honor your work and the Lord will help you with this mustard seed to make it grow. And then that's what he said. I took it seriously. And he started working and working and working and working. Here first, with those $100, he bought 16 chicken. Then he sold them and bought more. And then he said, the first time I met him, after 2 months after he started, he said, now I no longer buy 15 or 16 chicken, I buy 25 every 3 days. Then he said, later on, he said, I was able to buy to start a second little business with the churros, and I have paid all my debts. And now the last time I talked, he said, I have internet in my house. And then he said, I was able to take my family for an ice cream for the first time in a long time. This guy now, he has a profit of $450 net profit every month. You're willing to say yes. You're willing to work your mustard seed. You will see it grow. What is the mustard seed that the Lord has put He's putting in your hands right now? See it as an opportunity. See it as something that is given for God. And that is something that will give fruit. Big fruit. So I'm very happy to share this with you. If you feel like call of God to come in missions, we'll be happy to help you on our end. We're working with Aguirre. We're working with Alicia. We are aiming towards having a team coming in 2023. We are willing to, I am part of this ministry. That's why I keep coming here. And I believe what God is doing in Campus Students for Christ. So you have that interest, please talk to me, talk to Aguirre, talk to Lindy, talk to Brian. Tell Brian, how are you patient with this guy? You know, his accent. Teach me. He's a true friend, a true brother. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Aguirre. Thank you, CSC. God bless you.
All I have left to do tonight is to pray. And so if you guys will bow your heads with me. Gracious Father, our powerful God, our rock and our refuge. Lord God, we turn to you. Lord, it's so hard to imagine right now what it is that you want of us in the future. We can't imagine. And yet, Lord, with just a little bit of faith, you've said that if we will turn to you with just a little bit of faith, you will grow that and develop that. Lord, your word says that when the righteous prosper, then the city rejoices. Father, I pray that each of us would seek to be righteous before you. Lord, that we would accept your Son as our Savior and as our Lord, and that we would seek to be like him. Father, that the communities that we become a part of and the communities that we are a part of now would be able to rejoice knowing you. Father, I pray that tonight's message from Oscar and from Lindy, the lesson that we can learn from Ponte Vida, Lord, I pray that you would implant that in our hearts. Speak into our lives. Move us. Help us to realize the seriousness of your call on our lives and the incredible blessing that that call is. Father, we thank you and we love you. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.